Hello, it's so good to see you again. I'm Barbara, and together with my husband Daniel, I restore the historic sailing ship Flying Coney. Last time we hauled out Flying Coney, and right now we are in the shipyard on Urk. So now we focus on the things that only can be done while we are on the hard. This time Jürgen, our surveyor, visits us to inspect Flying Coney. He is going to measure the hull thickness and make sure that everything on our ship is up to code. And we don't expect any issues with this survey. Flying Coney's hull looks fine, and we just had her inspected by Jürgen 2 years ago. However, it is necessary for the safety certificate, and it is always good to know in what condition the hull is, especially when it is so easy to check like on a steel ship. But before Jürgen can inspect the hull, we have to pressure wash our ship. And before we can do that, we have to mark the waterline.
So last time when we were on the hard, we de-rusted the waterline, and also we left some spots of the original waterline. We have removed quite a lot of it, so it was really tricky to get a straight waterline. And now this time it's quite obvious because where the boat was sitting in the water, it's a little bit green. And now I have a pen. This is a liquid paint marker, so it's actually paint in there. It makes a funny noise when you shake it. And every few meters or so we will set a mark, so that when we do have to redo the waterline, we do get a better orientation to get it at a really nice and straight waterline this time. It's quite interesting how much the waterline has changed since we have bought the boat. So we're floating at least 10 centimeters higher, quite a lot more in the bow. That's because we have removed almost all the heavy insulation. The cork insulation is way more heavy than modern foam insulation or modern rock wool, sheep wool insulation. So the weight of the boat has shifted quite a lot.
With the waterline done, it was time to pressure wash Flying Coney to prepare the hull for inspection. And this time, Daniel wanted to do the pressure washing by himself.
Actually, it's quite fun because you get rid of a lot of debris in a short time. But then the details like the keel cooling, where you are in annoying positions and have to clean it and try to get rid of the mussels, that's quite tough. Not only is it incredibly tough, it's also incredibly dirty. And the good thing is, I don't need dinner this night because I already ate so many mussels that came flying back at me. Cleaning is a process where you transfer dirt from one place, mostly the boat, to another place, me.
So Daniel got the hull cleaned and ready for inspection. And so far, everything looks pretty good. So now Jürgen can start to search for the thinnest spot on each blade with a hammer and measure them with an ultrasonic thickness measuring device.
So today we had the renewal of the safety certificate, the CVO, including a casco report or hull thickness measurement. So the hull was tapped with a hammer, and that way the surveyor tried to find the thinnest spot on each plate.
And while Jürgen continued tapping our hull, I started to grind away the paint on all the spots he marked. The hull is measured with an ultrasonic thickness measurer, and this device needs blank steel to work.
One good thing if you do have the same surveyor each time you renew the CVO is that the surveyor can alter the focus of the casco report slightly. So this time he focused more on what's behind and the keel cooling, but it was a pain in the behind to grind the measuring spots behind the keel cooling pipes.
But once it was done, Jürgen could start measuring. So it was time for the moment of truth. How good is Flying Coney's hull after 2 years?
the readings are quite satisfying. The boat is built with around 8 millimeters of steel thickness. The highest reading we got is an 8.2, and most readings are in between 8 and 6 millimeters. That's quite nice. The hull is in quite good shape. Also almost no rust. The anodes have worked, but not too much. So we couldn't be more satisfied with the condition of the hull now.
Each and every old boat has some areas that are worn more than the rest. Flying Coney's hull is still entirely original and mostly in really good shape. But of course, the old lady has some spots that need attention. It's always nice to find an explanation for a steel plate that is in worse shape than others. For example here, where the nets banged against the hull when hauling in the fishing gear over the course of many decades. Since we pay close attention to the areas that could be problematic, the surveyor measured even more carefully and found a spot that's close to the required minimum. So together with him, we decided to extend the existing doubling.
And that's why we love steel ships. It is so easy to repair them. You just need a welder and a steel blade to fix basically everything. In this case, Henrik simply put a new blade over the worn part and welded it into place. This method is called overblading or doubling for obvious reasons. I mean, you literally put one blade over the other one. And we choose this method because it is fast, inexpensive and compliant with our class rules. The other option would be to cut out the worn part and weld a new blade in. But to do it right, you need access to the hull from both sides, which we don't have at the moment because there's concrete ballast on the other side of the blade. And to remove that is quite a task and a project on its own. But we are considering to exchange this doubling with an insert in an upcoming shipyard time.
Of course, you do have to make some repairs on a ship that is more than 75 years old. Of course, you see the age and the marks of the many decades the boat was around. But we love the look and we love that the boat is showing her past. And the whole purpose of a refit project is to preserve a piece of history. Fix what needs to be fixed, but keeping as much in its original state as possible. I mean, what's the point when you do a refit and exchange every piece of the boat? Eventually you end up with the question, is it still the same boat? So we are proud that our entire hull is still original, and we do everything we can to keep it that way.
And just like that, the worn spot is fixed. So now we can focus on our to-do list for this shipyard's time and to get Flying Coney back into the water as soon as possible, because each day on the Hart is quite expensive. So we are extremely grateful for the generous support of our lovely Patreons. Without you, this shipyard time wouldn't be possible. And if you want to support this project as well, then leave a super thanks or a PayPal donation. The link is in the description. Or become a member on Patreon and get access to real-time updates and additional content in between our bi-weekly videos. And most important, like and share this video. It really makes a huge difference and we very much appreciate it. Next time we will rip out the old improvised generator, so it will get pretty rough. And if you don't want to miss it, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so YouTube notifies you as soon as we publish the new video. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.